and entrepreneurs and all of those sorts, right? So I had to change the things that I really listen to in all aspects. Okay. And it changed everything for me. Because remember, guys, the information that you pour into your mind on a day-to-day basis is what determines the actions that you take. In order for you to do more, you have to know more. But you got to know more from the right people. So the first basic is, who do you listen to? All right. Key information. Okay. Take this time right now and ask yourself, who are the top 5 people in my life who I listen to? Okay. Once you've identified those 5 people, okay, look at their lifestyle. Do they have the lifestyle that you want? Do they drive the dream car that they've always wanted? Do they live in the house that they dream of? Are they happy? Are they living out their dreams? You got to pay attention to this stuff. Okay, because if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So this is not something that we just throw it under the rug, guys. This is something that we got to really pay attention to. This is key information. Okay. So that's number 1, which is, who do you listen to? Number 2 is your teachability index. This is important. Now, how do you measure your teachability index? You measure your teachability index by, number 1, your willingness to learn, and number 2, your willingness to change. Okay. So you measure your teachability index by, number 1, your willingness to learn, and number 2, your willingness to change. Okay. So let's talk about the first one that measures your teachability index, your willingness to learn. Now, I want you to sit down and ask yourself this question. How many hours a day do you dedicate to learning something new, to learning new information? Okay. Like where you sit down and you read, where you sit down and listen to audios with intention, not just reading a book while picking up your phone and with people around you, or listening to an audio and taking notes, like, or going to events and not being serious about it. Like, yes, I know there's people out there who are willing to learn, but there's a difference between learning and intentional learning. Okay. You see, if you're listening to this right now and you're just listening, then you're not really intentionally listening to this. I want you to know that, right? This is not intentional learning. You know what's intentional learning is if you're listening to this and you have all distractions off. It's just you and me right now on this podcast during this moment right now. You have a pen and paper in front of you and you're taking notes. You're pausing, you're going back. Okay, let me pick that up. If you're on this call right now, if you're on this podcast, all right, and you have a pen and paper in front of you and you're taking notes and you're pausing and you're going back and forth with me and you're taking down the notes, that's what you call intentional learning right there. Not saying that if you're just listening to it, it's not intentional, but you got to ask yourself, if you're just listening to this, okay, and there's somebody next to you who's listening, taking notes, highlighting, pausing, continuing, so on and so forth, who you think is being more intentional about listening to this podcast right now? Him or you? The other person, obviously. Because remember, okay, 95% of the things you don't write down, you forget, because you only retain 5% of the information that you don't write down. Okay. So intentional learning is so important. Okay. And that's why reading the books every day, like I do for 30 to 45 minutes every day, is vital to my success. Okay. Listening to audios every day, multiple hours a day, is vital to my success. Okay. Calling my mentors a few times a week to just have somebody else that knows more than me pour into me is also very important. Okay. Jumping on mornings with Nano for me is also a way of me learning. Going to events, investing into myself. All right. These are all ways that I pour into myself, family. And I do this every day. Willingness, okay, to learn. There's a difference between someone who just wants to learn and there's someone who has the willingness. That means that you're willing to show up every day through the ups, through the downs. Okay, willingness is a complete different than just wanting. Okay, if you just want to learn, that's okay. You'll show up when you want to learn. But when you're willing to learn, that means that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You could be going through a breakup, you could be going through a financial crisis, you could be going through even a death in your family, and you still take the time to learn every single day. You still take the time every day to read the book, to listen to the audios, to invest into yourself. That's the willingness to learn, guys. So I want you guys to really ask yourself, yo, am I really willing or do I just want to learn? All right. You see, I want you to know right now, in order for you to have a high teachability index, you have to have the willingness to learn. And like I said, that willingness is that true savageness. Like, no matter what, through the weekend, even if you stayed up and partied all night last night and you woke up hangover, like, it's showing up even on those days to learn that matters. Like, that's what true willingness is, family. And that's what I want you guys to embody, because I know what it has taken for me to get to where I'm at today. And it took true willingness to learn. Okay. Investing into myself, hundreds and thousands of dollars into books, events, audios, courses, mentorship. Thousands have been invested into this stuff. You know why? Because I want to learn, guys. I want to learn all the information, and a lot of the information that I teach you guys on these podcasts. This is 1% of 1% information right here. Like, even this that I'm teaching you right now, this is not information that they teach you in school. Okay, it's not information that you could, just find anywhere. This is information that, you got to go to the right source to find. These are the 5 basics of success right here. This is the bread and butter of everything. Okay, so understand that, learning is important, because it's not about what you can do, it's about what you can teach at the end of the day. All right. And what you can teach is what leads to duplication, and duplication leads to momentum. So you got to be willing to learn, because it's all about what you can teach as well. And that's very, very, very important. So that's the first thing that determines your willingness to learn, which is, sorry, that's the first thing that determines your teachability index, which is your willingness to learn. Okay. Now, a lot of people have a very high willingness to learn. Okay. They go to the events, they buy. All right, guys, let's get this call started. I'm super excited to be back. Just give me one sec right here, guys, and I will show you guys my screen, and we are ready to go. All right, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Good morning, great rising, grand rising, supreme rising, you name it. I am super excited to be here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you guys all so very much for taking the time to jump on today's call. I'm always blessed and very grateful, to jump on these calls and be able to pour into you guys. I just came back from finishing up my morning routine. So, sorry for the little bit of a late start, but we're here, we're ready to go. And I'm just super excited to be back. I know we haven't had a chance to jump on the last couple of calls, and it was because I was traveling. I had a small tour that I had to take care of. Obviously, I had my birthday at the beginning of the month. Followed by that, I was out in Spain. Then I went out to Norway. So I was kind of caught up, and a lot of my sessions while I'm in Europe are at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So those are prime time hours. Those are the times of the event. So it was kind of hard for me to do the call. So that's kind of like why we weren't able to do the calls while I was gone. But we're back and we're ready to go. And I'm super, super excited to be back and be able to pour into each and every single one of you guys. I see we already have over 100 plus people on the call, active and live. And, I'm always grateful for it, guys. So thank you so much for hopping on. I'm very excited for what I'm going to share with you guys here today. I'm kind of like on my own little personal run as well. I just started it up yesterday on Monday, June 17th. As you guys know, summer is 2 days away. For those that don't know, summer does start on June 20th, which is Thursday. On top of that, that's also Nano's 5 years anniversary with Mornings with Nano as well. So on Thursday, it will be the 5 year anniversary for Mornings with Nano. It started June 20th of 2019, and I've been doing them every single day since then. And it's been a blessing, what this platform has done for me, the amount of people I've been able to help and impact. There's thousands and thousands of people that have gotten value from, the Mornings with Nano community and everything that we've taught here. So, 5 years strong, it says a lot. It says a lot about our community, what we've done. And to think that I've been doing these every single day for 5 years, like, yeah, I probably missed a couple calls here and there due to travels and, a couple other things. But for the most part, guys, these calls have been running consistently for the last 5 years. So, you guys are not the first and you guys are not the last. I understand that people come and go, people grow, people sometimes go and do their own thing. And, a lot of motivation has came from these calls, and a lot of great things have come from these calls. A lot of lives have been changed. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity that God has given me to share my wisdom and my value with each and every single one of you. So again, thank you all for all the love, for all the support. Again, congratulations to our community for hitting 10K subscribers on YouTube. If you guys have not, subscribed to my channel, please do. If you guys are not a part of my Nano's exclusive mentorship group on Instagram, please go into my bio, plug in there as well. You guys can follow me on my Instagram at Long Live Nano, as well as my podcast is available on YouTube, is available on Apple, it's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and everything else out there. You can look it up on the Mornings with Nano. And everything else is there, guys. We have a lot of more things on the way for this community, and I'm just very, very excited for what's to come. So let's get started with today's call. I'm very excited for it. Just before I jump into my training for today, I want to let you guys know today we're going to be talking about the law of sowing and reaping. Okay, the law of sowing and reaping. All right, I think this is a very important topic for us going into the summer, because the summer is a very important season for all of us, right? The summer is a season of growth, the season of development. And before I jump into the session, I just want to let you guys know that I pray that all of you are really plugged in with yourselves this summer. Like, I'm going to lead by example, and I'm going to lead the way and do what I'm supposed to do. But I just want to make sure that you guys are also doing the same, right? Making it a priority to work on yourself, read the books, do the Bible studies, write your goals down, make sure that you're in the gym, really focusing on growing yourself this summer. Okay, this is a message that I've been sharing with my team, with my leaders, with everything that's around me. I've really just been telling everybody, like, yo, make sure that you put a massive amount of focus on you this summer. Okay, there's going to be a lot of distractions. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to go left, that are going to go right, but just stay focused on you, right? Remember, the quote says, focus on you until the focus is on you. All right, that's what I want. Focus on you until the focus is on you. And that's what I'm very, very excited on right now. So just wanted to give you guys that quick message, because it's something that I'm focused on. And I'm really, really taking a lot of time over the next couple of days before my tour to really put a massive amount of focus on myself. So today I'm going to go over the law of sowing and reaping for each and every single one of us. And why did I choose this topic? Well, as you guys know, we don't plant the seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. Okay. And whatever we sow is what we will reap, right? Whatever we plant is what will grow. So I want to make sure that we understand the law of sowing and reaping. So I'm going to go over the 5 points, okay, on the law of sowing and reaping, and how you can understand it and how you can apply it to your business, to your life, to your families, to everything in life. This law can be applied in any area of your life. Remember, it's a law. So what do I mean by that? It works regardless of whether you want to or not. An example, the law of gravity. Everything that goes up must come down. Okay, the same way that works every single time, right? If I also throw this little cube up in the air, every time I throw it up, everything that goes up comes down. You see the same way that works every single time, okay? The law of sowing and reaping works the exact same way, okay? Whatever you sow, you will reap, all right? So let's break it down, though. Let's talk a little bit more about it. Let's talk about point number one, all right? Point number one is understanding the law of sowing and reaping. So what is the law of sowing and reaping? And I'll talk about it a little bit. Let's get right into it, right? So the law of sowing and reaping basically is a principle that states that what you sow, what is sow, what you invest, what you plant, what you contribute, will determine what you reap. The reap is the harvest or what you receive. All right. So in a term that all of us can understand is like the law of giving and receiving. Whatever you give, you will receive. All right. So sow is just another way of saying investing, another way of saying planting, another way of saying contributing. And reap is just another way of saying receive and the harvest. Okay. Now, we're in a season of growth, right? The summer is known as the season of growth. Now, summer has not started yet. And if we go by dates, right, the summer actually starts June 20th. Now, whatever we decide to invest in, plant, or contribute to this summer will determine what we reap come harvest time next season, which will be, fall, which is, September, October, November, December, right? So put a 555 in the chat box if you want to have a big harvest this year, if you want to receive huge rewards, if you want to receive money, if you want to receive accomplishments, if you want to receive more people to join your business, if you want to receive more, put a 555 in the chat box for me, right? Because at the end of the day, that if you want to receive more love, right? If you want to receive more everything, right? Whatever you want to receive, right, is all going to come down to what you sow, what you invest, what you plant, what you contribute. Okay. So in business, for a lot of us, a lot of this translates to the effort and the resources and energy that you invest back into your business. Okay. And this is very important. Okay. Most people tend to undermine this idea, but it's actually one of the most important ideas that we must all focus on. Because if we know that whatever we sow, we will reap, then we got to be paying attention to what are we actually reaping. My mentor always told me, he said, Nano, you know what you're sowing based off what you're reaping. So right now, I want you guys to take a look at your current situation. Okay. If you're happy with your current situation, if you feel grateful and blessed because of your current situation, then that means that you were sowing the right seeds 90 days to 6 months ago, right? Because usually the reality that you live today is a reflection of the things that you planted 3 to 6 months ago. All right. So what you're living today, your current situation today in your business, in your life, in your relationship, in your finances, in your mental, in your mentality and everything is all a reflection of the seeds that you planted, what you invested, what you planted, what you contributed to, about 90 days to 6 months ago, right? I would always say that. So it all goes back to what you were doing at the beginning of the year, right? Kind of like the beginning of the year, all of March, so on and so forth, right? What you were doing during that time, majority of it is going to reflect what is currently happening in your life. So I look back to my January, my February, my March, my April, and I look at my life today, and I'm actually very satisfied and I'm very grateful for where I am. Okay, because during those months I was doing a lot of personal development work. I was developing the right leaders. I was reading the right books. I was pouring in the right information. I was going to the gym. I was in the sauna. I was in a good state of mind. I was planting the right seeds. So today I feel really good for where I'm at financially, for where I'm at mentally, where I'm at emotionally, where I'm at spiritually, because of all that work that I did back in January, February, and March. Okay. And a lot of what I'm seeing today in June is a reflection of the seeds that I planted back at the beginning of the year. Okay. So you got to remember this, right? What you reap, what is currently happening in your life right now is a reflection of what you have sown a couple of months ago. Like I said at the beginning of the call, what you don't plant the seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow, right? By your fruit, you will know what you have been planting. So I think this is a good time to reflect for all of us on this call, even for myself. Even though I'm happy and I'm blessed and grateful for where I am, I know that I could have done a lot of things better. I know I could have done more in certain areas. I could have worked out more. I could have read more. I could have tapped in with God more. I could have invested more money into crypto. I could have posted more videos on social media. There was so much more that I know I could have done. So even though I'm satisfied, I'm also dissatisfied because I know that I could have done more. But this is a good time to reflect for all of us on this call. For the almost 200 people on this call, including everybody on Instagram as well, this is a good time now for you to reflect and take a look at your fruit, right? Like I said, we're going into the summer. It starts in 2 days. June 30th is the last day of the second quarter of the year. Okay, remember, the second quarter of the year ends June 30th, which means the third quarter starts July 1st, which means June 30th is basically the halfway point of the year. So not only are we going into the start of the summer, but we're also going into the halfway point of the year. So this is a beautiful and amazing time for you to look back and reflect and look at the fruit. Look at what you're receiving. Look at what it is that you have reaped in the first 6 months of the year. This is a great time for all of us. This is probably one of the most important times of the year because this is the time for all of you to sit down and pay attention now. Okay, Nano, let me take some time today and let me look at what I have reaped. What have I received based off of what I've done in the first 6 months of this year? And this is a good time for you to look yourself in the mirror and pay attention to what you're going to change going into the next 6 months, going into this summer season. Because now you get to change and you get to focus on what you're going to sow during these next couple of summer months. That's going to determine what happens in your life September, October, November, and December. Because remember, it doesn't. What matters is how you end the year. Okay. So you can look, guys, I can tell you guys from experience. I've had years where the first couple of months of the years were rough. They were challenging. Things didn't go the way that I wanted them to. But guess what? I had a chance to change come halfway point of the year, which was the summer. And I changed a couple of things. And even though I didn't see results during the summer, come October, come November, come December, I finished the year strong because of the seeds that I planted during this time. Okay. So I'll use Tony as an example because he just posted it in the chat. He said, the last 6 months have not gone my way. I need to change ASAP. Tony, that is beautiful because you are being vulnerable and you're telling yourself like, yo, these first 6 months have not gone the way that I've wanted them to. But the beauty of it, Tony, you can put those 6 months behind you. You could be like, yo, you know what, Nano? These last 6 months have not gone the way that I wanted them to. Okay, I didn't plant the right seeds. I didn't invest the right time into the right things. I didn't do exactly what I was supposed to do. But starting today, starting Tuesday, June 18th, okay, I will start planting the right seeds. I will start investing the right time. I will start, developing the right habits so that come September, come October, come November, come these next coming months, all right, a lot of things will happen. things are going to change for you and your harvest is going to change. So point number one with the law of sowing and reaping is you got to understand it first. You got to understand how it works. And that's what I just did. I just help you guys understand, okay, what the law of sowing and reaping is. Whatever you plant, okay, the fruit will tell you what it is, right? Whatever you invest, you will get a return on that investment. Okay, whatever you give, you will receive. So, like I said, take this time to look yourself in the mirror and look at what you've received into the 6 months of this year. Are you happy with what you received? Are you happy with your harvest? Are you happy with the fruit? And if you're not, then it's time to make some changes. Remember, it's okay. That's what these calls are for. God put you on this call today to remind you, to show you, to make you aware, like, hey, you need to change. You need to make some adjustments. I know that God put Tony on this call because guess what? He needed to hear this. Okay. So, number one is understanding the law of sowing and reaping. Okay. You got to change that. But let's talk about number two now. All right. The way you invest your time, investing your time. Investing your time is number two. Remember, the most valuable asset, okay? The most valuable asset that we have in life is our time. So, where we invest our time is very, very important. It's very vital. Okay, this is key. Somebody asked, I was wondering if I missed the planting seed season because of the spring. No, you didn't miss it. You're always planting. The seasons are just, a way of describing what is required during those seasons. But for example, I was planting all spring, but I'm still going to be planting all summer as well. Okay, so you're always planting regardless, okay, based off of the seasons. You can even plant in the winter. Trust me, at all times you can plant. So don't worry about that. But let's talk about investing your time. Because time is, like I said, our most valuable asset. Nothing is more valuable than our time. Why do you say that, Nano? Well, think about it, guys. I can give everybody on this call money, but I can make all that money back. But I can't give everybody on this call my time and get that time back. No matter how much money I have, no matter how good of a person I am, I can never get the time back that I give. So I got to make sure that the time that I'm investing is invested very properly. Okay. Because remember, eventually you're going to get a return on your investment. You're going to get an ROI, a return on your investment. So no matter where you invest your time, there's always going to be a return. Why you think some of the most successful people in the world, they spend their time, they invest their time very wisely. Okay, this is super important. So you got to make sure that you are strategically investing your time in the right things. Well, Nano, how do I know what to invest my time in? Well, the number one thing you need to be investing your time is into yourself. Remember, the only way that your income is going to grow, the only way that your business is going to grow, the only way that, your investment portfolio, your trading accounts, your e-com store sales, the where more clients are going to join your business, the way more and more and more is going to happen for you is if you grow. Jim Rohn says, okay, your income is a direct reflection of your personal development. I'll repeat that again. Your income is a direct reflection of your personal development. So if you want to make more money, you need to focus on your personal development. Okay. This is why I've dedicated so much time and I've dedicated so much energy towards my personal development over the last 5 years, because I realized that I used to be focused on the wrong things. That's why one of my favorite quotes is, don't go chasing butterflies, mend your garden and the butterflies will come. Because when I started my entrepreneurship journey, My focus was chasing butterflies. I was chasing money. I was chasing the rank. I was chasing the accomplishments. I was chasing, chasing, chasing. But what happens when we chase things? They run away from us. And most people spend a lot of their journeys just chasing the money, chasing the next big accomplishment, chasing the car, chasing the house, chasing, 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 that at the end of the day, they never get it because it's always running away from them. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mend my garden. I'm going to mend my garden. What does that mean? I'm going to focus on planting the right seeds. I'm going to read the right books. I'm going to listen to the right people. I'm going to practice visualization. I'm going to grow a relationship with my creator, right? I'm going to do the right things so that now, by me mending my garden and these beautiful flowers growing in my garden, right? And these beautiful ideas that are going to flourish, okay, I'm not going to have to go chasing the butterflies. The butterflies are going to want to be a part of my garden. They're going to be like, well, this is a beautiful place for me to live. Let me come live in this garden. This garden has all the butterflies, it has all the nutrients, has everything that I need. So now the butterflies come to me, the accomplishments came to me, the money came to me, the business owners came to me, the sales came to me, the apartment I wanted came to me, the places I wanted to travel to came to me. I didn't have to go chasing for it. They all came to me. Why? Because I invested my time in the right areas. And like I said, the number one place where you need to be investing your time is into yourself. Okay, spending time with yourself, uninterrupted time. And let me talk a little bit about uninterrupted time, because we live in a time where it's very easy to be distracted. We have phones, we have social media, we have all these different devices. You know, a lot of us are easily distracted by a lot of the things around us, right? So, for example, and this is something, that I am working on myself. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at this because I'm not. I still get distracted all the time as well. I'm a little better at it throughout the years, but because it's our natural instinct and our phones are always in our pockets, and we have these notifications going off and we have all these different apps and all these different group chats, it's easy to be distracted. But in reality, you got to invest your time uninterrupted, which means if you're going to spend, let's say, an hour a day working on yourself, you want to spend that hour with your phone in another room where you can sit down and read 10 pages, 20 pages of a good book without having to check your phone, right? Where you can listen to a good audio without having to scroll on social media, where you can sit down and journal your goals and be very intentional and present with what it is that you got going on. Okay. Because the thing is, remember, if you're reading, let's say I'm reading this book, right? And I get a notification from my Instagram. Okay. And I go and check my Instagram while I'm reading my book. I'm not being intentional because I'm allowing this Instagram notification to distract me from my reading. So I'm not going to be able to get the best out of what I'm reading because I allow the distractions to get the best of me. Okay. A lot of us, we tend to, and like I said, I'm at fault for this too, because it has happened to me as well, where I'll be reading, I'll be journaling, a notification will go off, I'll get a phone call, somebody hits me up, text me, whatever it is. And next thing you know, I forgot what I was reading about. I had to go back and reread the whole page or the whole paragraph before that because I got distracted. But what I realized that my most intentional invested time are the ones where my phone is down, face down. Okay. I'm not distracted. And I take that hour. I'm like, okay, 30 minutes of reading. Okay. 30 minutes, no distractions, phone down, face down, all notifications off. Imagine meditating and getting a notification and stopping your meditation to check who hit you up or who texted you. Imagine doing your Bible study and studying the Bible and getting a notification or having somebody call you or text you and then taking your time away from God to talk to somebody. Okay. Like, if you really want to be intentional with the time that you are investing, it has to be uninterrupted. It has to be time that you spent that nobody's taking away from you. Okay. That's why at the beginning of my personal development journey, I always share with people, I'm like, yo, from this time to this time, all right. You can't call me. You can't text me. You can't email me. You can't DM me. No Instagram, no notifications. You have to have a time in your day where it is directly invested into you every day. Because think about it, the moment our days start, our days are filled with distractions. It's filled with this person, this app, this job, this. It's I gotta go here, I gotta eat this, I gotta talk to this person, I gotta post this, and the rest of our day is just interrupted if you actually think about it. But how many of us are actually spending at least 1 hour of uninterrupted time? Okay, it's like the person that works out but is on their phone the whole time as well. You ever seen somebody like that? I've been that person, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never been that person, but I've caught myself in the process of I'll do a set, and in between sets, I get caught up on Instagram and I'll get caught up texting people. And next thing you know, it's been 10 minutes in between sets. And I'm like, shit, man, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you need to be working out. So I'm saying, I know what that feels like. So I've been there before. It's easier said than it is done. But I've also had times where I was on point and I didn't use my phone when I've been working out. So I know the difference. I know the difference of how it is to work out intentionally and how it is to work out unintentionally. Okay. Think about it. How are you going to have a better workout? Are you going to have a better workout if you're on your phone and texting and on Instagram in between reps? Or if you're just focused, making sure you get everything done, you're not texting, you're not on Instagram, you're not, checking your phone or anything like that, and you finish your full workout uninterrupted. Maybe you'll take a picture or two just for accountability for the gram or whatever it is, but that's the most you'll do. You're going to get the most out of your workout if you do things like that. So you got to invest your time the right way. Okay. Because if you don't, then you're not going to get the results that you want come a couple months from now. So you got to invest your time into yourself. That's number one. And I could sit here and I could talk about all the other things you can invest into, but you can invest your time into your business. Okay. I know everybody here has different businesses. Okay. But you can invest your time into your business. How many hours a day are you dedicating to your business? How many hours a day are you dedicating to learning new skill sets? Right? What are you investing your time into? All right. You can be investing your time into people, but make sure it's the right people. Okay. My mentor once told me, I'll never forget these words. He said, Neno, he said, you're spending 30. No, sorry. Let me real quick. Here it goes. He said, you're spending 3 hours with people that you should be spending 30 minutes with. And then you're spending 30 minutes with people that you should be spending 3 hours with. He said, that's what's holding you back. And I said, can you repeat that again, please? And I'm going to repeat it on this call. He said, you're spending 3 hours with people that you should only be spending 30 minutes with. And then you're spending 30 minutes with people that you should be spending 3 hours with. What does that mean? Nano, explain it a little bit deeper. Well, think about it. Let's say you're hanging out with your negative friends and, your negative friends and people that are not really bringing any value in your life. You're spending 3 hours with those people instead of spending only 30 minutes with those people. Okay. But then the people that you should really be spending time with, the people that you should really be spending 3 hours with, which is the people that want to help you, that want to help you elevate, that want to see you grow, that have the wisdom, that have the skill sets, that have the money, that have all the resources. Those are the people you should be spending 3 hours with, but instead you spend 30 minutes with those people. He said, when you learn to shift that, that's when your life is going to change. Because if you show me your friends, I will show you your future. You are only a reflection of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I remember hearing that and I was like, sheesh. And it was so true. Because think about it. I would be on the block hanging out with friends and family and all these things for hours on a day. But then I would go to an event, let's say for an example, I would go to an event and I would only spend 30 minutes to an hour with those people and barely have any questions or anything for them. When in reality, I should be spending 3 hours with those people and only spending 30 minutes with the people that are not going to bring me any value. So that is what I need you guys to understand. Where are you investing your time? Everything, remember guys, everybody you invest into, everything that you invest into, you will have a return on investment for it. So, like I said, if you invest your time into yourself, there will be a return on investment. If you invest your time into your business, if you invest your time into people, if you invest your time into whatever it is that you're going to invest it into, there will be a return on that investment, right? You invest your money into crypto, there will be a return on that investment. Whatever you choose to invest your time into, you will see a return for it. So be very strategic with where you invest your time. I think the most important thing that all of us could do, not to confuse anybody on this call, invest your time into yourself this summer. Okay, track how much hours a day are you going to invest into yourself this summer. If you do an hour a day 7 days a week, that's 7 hours a week. That's about 30 hours a month. That's not bad. If you're investing 30 hours every month into yourself, that's a pretty solid investment. You know what I'm saying? So if you're taking time every day to invest just 1 hour every day into you, that's a really solid investment. Because you guys are going to say this, but listen to this. If you guys only saw how much time people are putting into their phones, you'll be disgusted. I was looking at the numbers the other day for the time that people spend on their phones. The average person spends 6 to 7 hours a day on their phone. That's on average. That means that's on average. That's not including most people. We're talking about 8, 9 hours. But let's just keep it at 6 to 7 hours a day. You multiply that by 7 days a week, you're looking at 40 to 50 hours every single week that people are spending on their phones a week. If you do that for the month, we're looking at anywhere from 160 hours to 200 hours a month that people are spending on their phones. The numbers never lie, right? Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't, right? Think about that. Over 160 hours a month are invested into people's phones. And then you were to ask those same people, hey, how much time of that did you dedicate to yourself? And you start to hear crickets. Cricket, 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 cricket. They didn't even dedicate 2 hours to themselves. You look at people's YouTube and it's all music, 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 music. No podcasts, no audios. Distracted with the wrong things, investing their time in the wrong places. And then those are the same people that complain about their situation, complain about how they don't have money, complain about how things never work in their favor, complain about how, their business isn't growing. Well, my brother, you spend 50 hours a week on your phone and not even an hour a day on yourself. How do you think your life is going to change? It'll never change. So you have to be the one to realize these things and make the changes. Where you are investing your time will determine the rewards that you reap. So moving forward, make sure that you're investing your time in the right places. Don't just go and throw and just go about your day. Every hour of your day needs to be calculated from the moment that your eyes open to the moment that you fall asleep. You need to know where you're investing your time. What time are you waking up? What time are you going to work on yourself? What time are you going to the gym? What time are you going to study? What time are you going to go to work? What time are you going to spend with your family? What time are you going to have dinner? What time are you going to do your night routine? Everything is an investment, right? Because think about it. If you start going to the gym every day, 5 days a week, if you may not see the changes right away in a week, but if you look down 90 days down the road, you'll start to see some changes. See how that works? So you could go to the gym 5 days a week, but if you're not investing your time in the right places, then you won't see the results 90 days from now. Even down to what you eat, that's an investment. Hey, Nano, I drink. Think about it. If you're the person that's drinking and eating junk food every day, drinking soda, eating junk food, eating fast food every single day, you could do it for the first 5 days and maybe for a month and you won't see no difference, but do it for a year. See what happens. You'll start to reap what you sow. If you feed your body garbage, you're going to feel like garbage. Okay. Everything has a return on investment, down to what you eat, down to what you invest your time in, whether it's in the gym. Everything has its return on investment, guys. So that's number two when it comes to the law of sowing and reaping. Okay. Is invest into yourself. Okay. Very, very important. Number three. Okay. This is key. And this is all something that we all know, right? It's consistency and patience. We all know this. It's all about your consistency, but also the patience that comes with it. One of the things that I'm the most grateful for is my patience. I have patience to wait for things to unfold because this is what I learned. Everybody has a waiting season. We all gonna have a waiting season. But it's not about the waiting season. It's about what you do while you wait. We all have a waiting season. That's something we can't control. It's out of our control. We can't control the waiting season. The only thing we can control is what we do while we wait. That's the only thing we can control. So what are you doing now while you wait? You focus on yourself. You invest the time into yourself. You invest the time into, your business. You invest the time. Okay. But now, while you wait for that return on investment, what are you doing? Are you still showing up every day? Are you still going to the gym every day? Are you still reading the books? Are you still listening to the audios? Are you still doing every day what you said you would do? That's the key. Because yes, patience is important, but it's also important that you stay consistent during that waiting season. Because this is what happens to most people. And like I said, I've been most people, right? I will plant a seed, but during the waiting season, guess what I would do? I would slack off. I would chill. I would let that my distractions get the best of me. All these things will start to happen. And guess what? Eventually, that seed that I planted, guess what ends up happening to it? It dies. And that seed that I was hoping for a return on, or I was hoping for a return on investment for, it never came. That's why some people plant seeds of, they want to do this, they want to do that, but then they slack off and those seeds die because you didn't stay consistent. During your waiting season, you took time off. You let your challenges get the best of you. You stop praying. You stop reading. You stop going to the gym. You stopped during the waiting season. That's the worst mistake you could do. Because think about it. If you plant a seed and you stop watering the seed, what's going to happen eventually to that seed? It's going to die. It's the same thing with your dreams, guys. It's the same thing with your dreams. It's the same thing with your goals. It's the same thing with everything that we do in life. It's going to die. So when you make a decision to do something, You gotta stay true to it, right? I planted a seed yesterday, Monday, okay? I said so on and so forth to protect my energy and what I said I was gonna do, right? I planted that seed. Now, if I decide, let's say, for example, I planted a seed yesterday, Monday, June 17, I planted a seed. Now, my job every day is to show up and water that seed. Me watering that seed is me showing up for myself every day. If at any point during this summer I decide to stop showing up, I decide to stop going to the gym, I decide to stop reading, stop doing this, that seed that I planted eventually is just going to die off. And what I wanted to accomplish is not going to become a reality because I stopped doing what I said I was going to do. Okay, remember, you got to stay committed. Commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling has faded. Okay, doing what you said you would do long after that feeling has faded. Okay, it's very important. Look, this morning, I didn't wake up at the time that I wanted to wake up because I was so tired from yesterday. I ran, I did this, I had a lot of calls, and I missed my alarm by 30 minutes. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get an extra 30 minutes of sleep today because I felt like I needed it. Okay. But I still got my work done. I still went and did my gym session. I still went and did my reading. I did what I was supposed to do, but I didn't slip up. I may have slipped up on the time that I was supposed to wake up at, but I didn't slip up on the things that I said I was going to do. Okay. And sometimes that's going to happen throughout the journey. You're going to maybe have little slip ups, but you need to catch yourself and get yourself right back into it because even if you woke up late, even if you're going through something, even though regardless, I went out and I planted my seed, right? I watered my seed. You got to do the exact same thing. I remember my coach gave me this analogy one day. He said, look, Kevin, he used to call me Kevin. It's my real name for those that don't know. He said, look, he used to tell me, hey, Kevin, look. He said, in life, God is going to give you all the ingredients and all the tools to build the house. He's going to give you the cement. He's going to give you the bricks. He's going to give you all the machinery, everything that you need. He said, your job is to every day, regardless of what's happening in your life, is to go out and lay a brick. You are in control of how big you build your house, how small you build it, or if you ever build a house at all. If you want to live a good life, all you need to do is every day go lay a brick. He said it could be snowing outside, it could be raining. He said you could be going through one of the worst times in your life. But whatever you do every day, go out and lay a brick. And that analogy always stuck with me for some reason because it makes so much sense. He said, bro, you could be going through anything in life. It could be snowing, raining, storming outside. You could be going through a breakup. You could be going through a bad business investment, whatever it is, every single day, just go out and lay a brick. That's the only thing you can control. You can't control what happens in life because what happens in life happens to all of us. There's going to be problems. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be difficulties. But what you know you can control is that every day you grab that brick and you go out there and you lay it down. And if you do that long enough, eventually, one day you'll look up and you'll have a beautiful mansion that you'll live in with your family. And guess what? All the hard work is going to all pay off. Because guess what? Every day you went out there and laid a brick. And in the beginning, you may not see anything. It may take you years to finish building that mansion or that house that you want. But every day you just go out and lay the brick. And that's the key. Go out and lay your brick each and every single day. And you know what laying a brick is? You know what that signifies? Taking the time to focus on you. Focus on you, like I said, until the focus is on you. It's 11:11, right? So that's number 3, the consistency and the patience. Okay? It's going to take time. And what is time? Right? What is the acronym for time, guys? I know all of you guys know this, probably one of your favorite things. But what is the acronym for time? Things I must experience. It's all about the experiences. You plant the seed, now you got things you got to experience in the meantime. That's how life is. Things I must experience, time. Now it's all about the experiences now. There's going to be good experiences, there's going to be bad experiences, there's going to be character building experiences. There's going to be all type of experiences, but it's about continuing through those experiences regardless of what's happening. You plant the seed, now it's all about the waiting season. Okay? So, consistency and patience is number 3. Number 4 is the quality of inputs matters. This is important. The quality of your inputs matter. Remember, whatever you input, you will output. This is important. But listen to what number 4 says. The quality. We don't want quantity. We want quality. Quality inputs, quality investments. Okay? And you got to make sure that you guys are making, like I said earlier, it's about investing your time the right way. If you're investing, think about it. There's a difference between, like I said earlier, there's a difference between somebody, let's say, for example, you're on this call. Okay. If you're on this call and you're just listening, that's great. I don't blame you for that. Okay. If you can just listen right now because you're at work and so on and so forth, that's great. But you know who's someone who's going to get more out of this than you? The person that is sitting at home right now with their pen and paper in front of them, the laptop or phone in front of them, and they're taking notes on everything right now. That is a better quality input than someone who's just listening. Not saying that listening is not a good input, but a more quality input would be sitting down in front of your phone, no distractions, taking notes, and making sure that you're doing this. Because remember, 90% of what I share on this call, you're going to forget it unless you write it down. But the person that is taking the time to write down all these little quotes and write down all the notes and keep it and is going to reread it after, they're going to be able to get more of a quality input out of this call than the person that's just listening. Even though the person that is listening may still be able to get something out of it, which is great regardless because you still get something out of it. But the person that is sitting down and taking notes right now is getting a better quality input than the person that is not taking notes. Okay. And like Crystal said, you could come back later and take notes. That's fine. But I'm just saying for future purposes, this goes the same with events. This goes the same when you're listening to audios. This goes the same for everything, right? When I go to, for example, mentorship sessions, right? I go and I have let's say I want to go have a lunch with my mentor. And I'm like, yo, coach, I got like 5 to 10 questions I want to ask you today. I'm not going to sit there and ask him questions and just listen. I'm going to ask for his permission. I'm going to be like, hey, hey, Tia, do you mind if I record, our conversation at lunch today, please? And I'm going to be taking notes as you speak as well. Why? Because I want to get the best out of the conversation that I want to have the best quality input out of it. Can I just sit there and listen as I ask questions? Yeah, and I'll probably still get some value out of it. But what's going to be more quality? For me to sit down, record his session, take notes, go back home, re-listen to it, take even more notes, and be able to get the most out. That's going to be better than me just sitting down and listening. So make sure that you're taking very quality inputs. Same thing with the gym. Don't be the person that's at the gym on your phone distracted. Because the person that's at the gym, not distracted, focused on his workout, doing everything he said he was going to do, making sure he or she drinks her creatine and her protein and stuff after, that person is going to have a better quality workout than the person that just was distracted the whole time. It's about the quality inputs. The hour that you spend studying with no distraction, that's a quality input. Okay, the gym workout that you did for a whole hour that you didn't go on Instagram, you didn't do anything, that's a good input. Okay, the 30 minutes that you spend reading where you didn't get distracted, that's a quality input. Okay, the 10-15 minutes that you spend meditations without any distractions, without any notifications, without anybody hitting you up on the side, that's a quality input. Focus on the quality inputs. If you want a quality life, you got to focus on the quality inputs. Because remember, the outside is a reflection of the inside. So if you want the outside to change, the inside must change. Nano, what do you mean by the inside? The inside is your thoughts, the way that you're thinking, the emotions that you're feeling. All right. That's how it all works. It goes back to the tier method that I teach. TEAR. Thoughts control emotions, emotions determine actions, and actions determine results. But in the TEAR, think about it. The T and the E are the inside. You can't see your thoughts and your emotions. Those are the inside. You can see the A and the R, which are the actions and the results. So if you want to take the right actions and you want to get the results, it's all going to be a reflection of the inside, which is your thoughts and your emotions. The inside can change the outside, but your inside has to change first so that the outside can change. My outside changed because I focused on changing the inside. Okay. So quality inputs matters. All right. And then last but not least, number 5. Okay. You got to be in alignment with your values and your ethics. You got to be in alignment with your values and your ethics. You got to make sure that you're keeping yourself at a high standard, holding yourself accountable. If you know that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, hold yourself accountable. You know you're not supposed to be drinking on the weekend, hold yourself accountable for that. You know you're not supposed to be smoking weed and doing this and hanging out with those people. You need to stay true to yourself and what you said you would do. Number 1 agreement in the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word. Your word is everything. If you say you're going to wake up at a certain time, wake up at that certain time. And if you don't, hold yourself accountable for it, like I just did on this call. I was supposed to be up at 6 a.m. I woke up at 6:30. Okay. I woke up 30 minutes late. Okay. It was a choice though. I said, you know what? I feel like I need an extra 30 minutes of sleep. You know, I'm gonna rest a little extra 30 minutes. And I listened to my body and I slept an extra 30 minutes. But I still got to hold myself accountable because I said I was going to wake up every single day at 6 a.m. regardless. So it's a part of holding yourself to the standard that you said you would hold yourself to. Stay true and aligned with your values and your ethics. Don't be the person that says you're going to do something and then you don't do it. Don't be the person that says you're going to go to the gym 5 days a week and you're going 1 day a week. Don't say that you're the person that's going to wake up and focus on yourself for an hour a day and you're not focused on an hour a day. Be the person that says you're going to do something and you follow through with it regardless of the circumstances and the situations that are happening. Stay true to your ethics. Stay in alignment with them during this time. Because the last thing you want to do is go against what you said you would do. Nobody can trust that person. Remember, you're not just obeying yourself, you're also obeying God as well. Okay? Don't be disobedient. Don't be that person. Don't be a disobedient person. I was literally reading in my Bible study today, and part of what I learned in my Bible study today was if you continue to be disobedient, God will bring his wrath and start to turn things up. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of sat there and I'm like, sheesh. Continuous disobedience will lead to God turning up. He will. He will make sure that you are held accountable. Right. And that's what he did to the people, to the individuals that I was reading. You know, he took away all their income, he took away their cattle, he took away this, all these things. Why? Because they kept being disobedient. He kept being disobedient. They kept being disobedient. They kept sinning. They kept doing what they didn't follow. They didn't trust. They didn't believe. And guess what? Boom. Then judgment comes. And now you're wondering, yo, Nano, why is this happening in my life? Well, you've been disobedient for the last 6 months. You've been disobedient for the last 3 months. Trust me, I've been there before. I've been the disobedient person for a couple of months, and he came down and he did what he was supposed to do. I know what that feels like, guys. Trust me. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to go to the gym, be in the gym. If you say you're going to read that book, read that book. If you say you're going to study an hour a day, study an hour a day. If you say you're going to post on social media, post on social media. If you say you're going to stay, if you're going to get uncomfortable, get uncomfortable. Stay true to what you say you're going to do, because people are going to watch your feet more than they watch what you say. I was sharing this, and I'll end it with this. I was sharing this video from John C. Maxwell with my leaders yesterday, where he said all of leadership is visual. Leadership is visual. People will do what they see you doing, not what you say. Okay. So if you think about it, your kids, from my parents with kids, they don't do what you say, they do what they see you do. Okay. So it's the same thing with life, with the people around you, with your business partners, with your friends, with your family. People will do what they see you do, not what you say. I could say this, I could say that, I could say all of these things. It's about what they see me doing. That's why I'm leading by example. And what am I doing? I've been telling my team, I've been telling my leaders, yo, this summer is all about focusing on yourself. But if I just tell them to focus on themselves and they don't see me focus on myself, then some of them may not really follow it, and they probably won't do it. But if they see me every day, and every day they wake up and they see me doing my morning routine, they see me in the gym, they see me doing my morning jogs, they see me writing my goals down, they see me doing it every single day, eventually all of them are going to be like, sheesh, I need to be doing the same thing. Because even though I may say it every day, but if they see me do it every day, now they know that it's official. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys today. So those are the five points for the law of sowing and reaping. If you really want to leverage the sowing and reaping law, like I said, number one, you got to understand the law. Number two, you got to invest your time. Number three, you got to understand the consistency and patience that comes with the law of sowing and reaping. Number four is the quality of your inputs really matter. And then number five, stay in alignment with your values and your ethics. All right. This is super important. So if you guys got value from this, put some fives in the chat box for me if you guys got value from this, because that's really all it is right there. Okay. You got to stay in alignment with those things. This is really, really the key to this whole entire thing. So with that being said, guys, that is my training for today, the law and sowing and reaping. Like I said, make sure that you are sowing the right seeds the next 3 months. Remember, what you did prior to this doesn't matter anymore. So what you did the first 5.5 months of the year, it's okay. It's behind you now. The only thing you can focus on is what you're going to sow in the rest of June, all of July, and all of August. That's the only thing you can focus on. Because what you plant now is what you will reap come September, October, November, going into the new year 2025. So if you want to go into 2025 as one of the best years of your life, you want to start setting yourself up to have one of the best years ever in your whole entire life, it starts now in reality. It starts now. All right, guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for jumping on today's call. We will be back on Thursday for another episode. I will be here on Thursday. We will be celebrating 5 years of Mornings with Nano on this call on Thursday. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I cannot wait for that call. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days and a beautiful rest of your weeks. Stay locked in. Go plant the right seeds. Go do exactly what's supposed to be done. And I'm just super, super excited for what it is that is coming for all of you guys. Make sure that you guys subscribe to this channel if you guys have not subscribed to this yet. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Long Live Nano. If you want to listen to my podcast, you can find it on Google at Mornings with Nano. And you can find it on YouTube and everywhere else. All right. There's a lot of free value that I give out there. And I'm very, very excited. All right, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to do a quick prayer at right now. I usually do them at the end of this call. And if anybody, has to hop off for whatever reason, feel free to do so. But I'm going to do a quick prayer for us and we're going to wrap it up right there. So everybody bow your heads real quick and let's pray. Father God, we want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We are all filled with so much gratitude and so much happiness and so much joy because of the amazing life that we get a chance to live every day. You are helping us grow in our awareness every day. Our consciousness is growing every day. And every single day, we are becoming better versions of ourselves. I want you to forgive us for any of our trespasses and for anything that we said we would do that we didn't do. Moving forward on behalf of this whole entire community, I can tell you that we are all committed to becoming the best versions of ourselves because we want to be the examples that we want to see in the rest of the world. We are committed to continuing to build the kingdom and do what's required regardless of the circumstances. Continue to give us the strength, continue to give us the discernment, continue to pour in the wisdom that we need to continue to be that version of ourselves so that we can continue to serve our purpose. We love you so much, God, and we appreciate you even more. In God's name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. So with that being said, guys, enjoy the rest of your days. Stay positive, stay uplifted, get focused on yourself. If you have not done your morning routine today, go do a routine, go read 30 minutes of a good book, listen to some audios, distract yourself from the music and focus on listening to podcasts, rewatch some of these, some of these videos, but let's put a massive, massive focus into ourselves. I love you. I will see you guys again on Thursday. God bless, familia.